I do. Saying her what it is.
Tell me, brother, what's going on? Another week.
Yeah, another week in the game.
Another week of shenanigans and serious. What
You
else?
know, it is what it
Entertainment.
is. You know, it is what it is. You know, like shouts to my peoples, man. Shenanigans is in full. Hey, man, night two. You know, it's
Night,
trending.
night two is trending. Yo, where they get the Saturday? Why they keep booking the Saturday joint wrestlers up in here? Why they keep, yo, that was crazy.
Yo, chat. Put it in the
Yo,
comments. That joint was
yo,
staged. There's no way. There's
there's
no
no
way that
way.
joint was
That shit
real.
was hilarious though. I ain't gonna
But
front
it
on
was
you.
flawlessly executed, in my
Yo,
opinion.
they both was at it. If it was not real, they both definitely were convincing. Like it was
Bro, they're
crazy.
about to get like what's the joint for the television? Emmy. They're about to get an Emmy on that one.
First of all, I didn't even know The Rock had a brother.
Bro, he looked just like him, dog. I was like, wow, okay.
I did not know that, so I guess I'm with
Was it
Cam.
Yusuf, wasn't it? Yeah, exactly, right? You know, I respect the family. He was like, I respect the family, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, what happened though? You know, you
Yeah,
got the rock, you got your pops, you got the rock. What happened?
he's like that nigga. You. That was crazy, but yeah, shout out to that. But speaking of shenanigans, yo, we've been constantly seeing the last few weeks where there's reports of encouraging people to fish in the Hudson River in New York City. Now, I remember, Mo. I don't know if you remember. We looked this up last year in around the summertime, right? Because
We
we was going over
definitely
remember the craziness that happens in the summer. By the way, y'all, warning, summertime, y'all gotta watch out in these beaches, right?
we're gonna go
The,
back to
the,
the visa.
the deathification, what do they call that joint?
Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta watch out. Yeah, human, yeah, uh-huh. We don't want to talk
make sure
that
you
deep
don't
about
step
it,
on
but yeah. Just make sure
this.
you go to the clean beach, or you go to the beaches in the earlier of the season. If you go at the end of the season, it may not be as healthy as you think it is. But anyway, in 2023, Mo, what they say? What happened in 2023? Hudson River?
So, um, Holtec International they planned, I don't know if they did it or haven't done it. They have planned to release 45,000 gallons of contaminated water as part of a cleanup effort or whatever. Then that triggered some public outcry, as you would imagine. New York City get all their water from, the Hudson Valley. But it ain't nothing new, right? Like I've seen like forest green waters in the East River and in the Hudson River for a long time. That's nothing new. So imagine to my surprise when I saw local news saying they encourage fishing in the New York rivers. I don't think New Yorkers should don't do it. Don't do it. Next thing you know, you're gonna pull out one of those Simpson fish with the three eyes. Don't do it. Don't do it. Like, but I don't understand. Like,
And it,
why do they get to give this bad advice? Like, why do they get to push
I
this?
don't know. It says there's nothing specifically confirmed to a spill, but I believe it was supposed to be a planned dumping, right? So
Yeah, from the Indian Point nuclear power plant.
yeah, and it's supposed to be like radioactive materials mainly.
Look, it
So
says that between 1962 and 2021, Indian Point discharged an average of 2 to 3 million gallons of treated radioactive water waste annually into the Hudson River. I survived. I guess we got nothing to worry about. Go
I don't
get
know.
your fish on.
I don't know. I have seen some fish, people catching fish up in there. The fish look questionable to me. I'm not trying to do it though. Yo, I guess fish at your own risk. How about that? Fish at your own risk.
Hey, catch
Do
and
what you do.
release. If it's your sport, do your thing. You know, I
Yo,
don't fish for sport. When I go fishing, I'll be trying to enjoy the meal that I catch. But to each his own.
to each his own. Speaking of fish and water and, what do we call it? Ocean life or aquatic life. There you go. Aquatic life. Something more I wanted to talk through and kind of get your opinion on. It's like, I seen some stuff. It's talking about the octopus, bro. Octopus.
That is a fascinating specimen from
Yeah.
mysterious parts of the nautical world.
like we're talking a lot about aliens and extraterrestrial and all this stuff like that. So like, it just made me think like, yo,
I
what
definitely
it,
caught
what?
wind
Yeah,
of a video talking about the octopus and its rare genetic structures and stuff. So obviously we know that they regenerate, right? Like
right.
they kind of could grow back a tentacle or whatever. We know that they are like chameleons. They just change colors. You can't even see them. What else do they do that? I mean, right? The Loch Ness, not the Loch Ness. What is it? The squid. I
The
mean,
Kraken. You talking
the
about the Kraken?
Kraken. You got the Kraken. You got the killer squid. I mean, you know.
Guy right here. It says, "Yo, so why do scientists find it interesting? So the octopus intelligence is studied in fields like neuroscience, evolutionary biology. So, like, I mean, that right there, if scientists are studying them on those levels, they have to really be some really intelligent beings, or species or something like that. And from what I gathered, that they're actually older than humans on our planet. Like that's kind of crazy too, right?
I mean, at this rate, we're gonna find out that we were born like this version of humans came out like, recent
Yeah.
history, my nigga. Like it's starting to feel like.
Yeah, this is
But
crazy.
the octopus is crazy, man. It's a crazy
Yeah, I didn't. I
animal. I
never,
guess we
never
gonna
really
call it
thought
an
about it.
animal.
I mean, it's always been an interesting. I guess that's the thing, right? Octopus always was kind of like for me. It's like I wanted to stay away from it, like because you could kind of see it's very fast, right? Also, like they're very fast in the sea, in the ocean. They could do so many different things. They got like what 8 arms. Like you said, they could reproduce their arm if they lose it. Apparently, each tentacle, that's what they call the arm, it moves in its own way. Like it has its own, you know what I mean? Like it has its own deal. Like it doesn't operate just from one brain.
Yo, it's doing its own thing.
It's just crazy, right?
Yo,
It's
man,
crazy.
y'all keep studying. Y'all keep
Yeah.
studying
Well,
because
here it is. Uh, what is it? It's like having 8 mini brains working with the central brain. So it has multiple like, yo, that's crazy. I don't even. It sounds like I'm going too far
you
into
think
this,
that's like
but
a hive mind type thing? Hey, marine biologists, holla at us in the
yo,
comments, y'all.
word,
Let us know
word.
about the like, get it, get a little interesting, yo.
That's crazy. All right, octopus. We gotta see what it is. Put it in the comments, like Moon said. Yo, back on track. It's NBA playoff time. NBA playoffs is here, Mo. I need your predictions, Mo. I need to understand who do you think is coming out the West and who do you think is coming out the East?
Yo, man, at this time of the year, it's about attrition. Like, what team is going to be able to sustain the grind, right? Like, so, it's hard for me to, man, I just can't see anybody from the East winning, man. You got somebody from the East? You got somebody winning from the East? I mean,
Yeah, it's not my turn yet. It's not my turn. It's your turn.
well, look, the way I see it, I'm gonna go with
Come on
it's
now.
tough, man.
The ticker is
I'm gonna go.
happening.
I'm gonna go with the defending champions, y'all, on
Of
the
course
back of
he
the.
is. Yeah, of course he is. Go ahead. Okay. OKC with who?
I
Against
mean,
who? OKC against who? I'm just saying the finals.
the finals.
You did this
The
last
East
time and you
Coast.
jinxed the Ravens and the Ravens didn't even make Hey, yo. Okay,
Let's
okay.
participate on the East. I don't even.
So now we know OKC is losing because Mo said they were gonna win the whole thing. So we know they're gonna lose.
I mean,
Just take a get. Just say a name.
all right. So coming out the East,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with
Or what's the
Ants.
finals you would like to see? You said OKC
Or
versus
the
who?
finals. I would. What would be dope, and like all you guys that hate basketball probably won't think this is dope, but I think it would be amazing for the Pistons to match up against OKC and they beat that ass. Pause. And you know why? Because the last time the Pistons pulled this shit off, you made that same face.
I don't know what you talking about, but yo,
So you
I'm
gonna
gonna.
tell me you had the 2004 Pistons all the way, right? You had
Well,
ugly
I
Ben
definitely.
Wallace and them
I
winning,
didn't know if I
just
had them all the
dominating like
way. They
that.
was nice. They was nice though. They dominate the season. So you saw them coming. Pause. Like you know what I mean. Like
I know, but it
so.
was like we was all kind of like, nah, they ain't gonna beat the Lakers. Nah, not the Lakers.
I mean, all
But
right.
they pulled it
Anyway,
off.
you going too far. You see. All right. So you trying to cover up your shit? Don't do this. Pause. All right, so
Yo, man.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say,
Look,
I'm gonna say,
don't be a homer. Don't be a
I'm gonna
homer.
say Spurs against the Knicks.
I told you
Yeah,
don't be a homer.
yeah, yeah. You a hater. You a
Told you don't be
hater.
a homer. This is supposed to be objective conversation.
The Spurs against the Knicks. I said it. Yeah, 99.
All
Yeah,
right, look.
And the Knicks might come victorious. Remember, I said that too. Yeah. And that's a
You
rematch.
think
And
Cat's
that's a
gonna put up
rematch.
some
And that's a
you think gonna put
rematch.
up work against Wimby, huh?
And that's a rematch from the didn't they the was the midseason tournament?
With the midseason
The
cup.
in season tournament. You know who won that, right? You know who got that
Yeah,
finals.
because
Got that, right? It
right,
was against the
right.
Spurs.
Yep, yep. A little
All right.
foreshadowing, right?
Yeah, but Spurs, I think, are definitely gonna make the jump. They already started game one. They already came through with the suits on the whole team. I gotta check the score real time before I start talking shit. Next thing you know, they losing by 20. They better not be losing. It make me look bad over here. But yeah, I think Spurs are gonna make the run, and I think the Knicks are gonna make the run. Yeah, I think
You know
if
what?
they play Detroit,
What's the brackets, man? I gotta look at how does
if
this
they
shake
play
out
Detroit, it
because
could get scary
this
though.
is
It could
all
get
about
scary.
matchups. This is all about
It
matchups,
is about
right?
matchups. The Spurs are playing in Portland right now.
And I still don't see a player on the Knicks team that's gonna be as
You a hater. You don't know what you're talking about.
lucky as Halliburton to just I don't know somehow defeat the Knicks. I don't know. I mean, I like Rick. I like Jalen Brunson. I was
You was
calling him
gonna
Daddy name. I
say
call him
Rick?
Rick. I like Jalen Brunson, but I mean, I gotta see it. Just like everybody else, we gotta see it. Like I ain't see it last year. I gotta see it this year.
Yo,
And if I don't see it this year, then I guess I gotta see it the year after that.
the
Like,
Knicks just gotta stay healthy, bro. They got a rotation. They got a lot. They're really deep, like
you
in
believe in Mike
comparison
like
to a
that,
lot of
huh?
the teams. So what happens is they play the Hawks. They not they could use a tight rotation with the Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, right? When they get into the second round, the rotation is gonna have to get, you know what I mean? Like it's gonna have to be a 9-man
Expand.
route. Exactly. Yeah. Thank you. Because I didn't want to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want to. Yeah. Say the wrong thing. And then as they go into the playoffs, they'll have that expanded rotation, right? So
I'm
I
looking at
think
the
that
matchups
is gonna
here.
be beneficial to them.
I'm looking at the matchups. I mean, the East.
This
I
guy's
feel
acting
like the
like
East
he's
is less unpredictable. I don't know. I might just be disconnected, but it seems like I don't know. Like, are the Celtics that much better than the Sixers? Like, were you just like, yeah, they got that?
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so we got the Celtics beating the Sixers, and who
yeah.
they end up
Then
playing next?
the Knicks.
See, oh, you got the Knicks taking care of business against the Celtics.
Yeah, shout out to Jalen Brown though. But yeah,
Okay, okay,
yeah,
all
yeah,
right, okay.
yeah. I do.
It'll be good. Good for the league. That's a good second round matchup for the
Do
league.
you really want me to give you the reasoning behind that?
Behind the
Yeah,
Celtics,
because I would have
yeah.
not said this. I would have not said this if Porzingis and Al Horford was still on the squad, but they're not. So Porzingis was the biggest thing the Knicks couldn't like mess with. Every time Porzingis was in the
He was a
series,
problem for Cat. He neutralized Cat.
he
Cat
was a
just
problem
couldn't.
for the whole Knicks roster. He was a problem. They could not figure him out.
Okay.
What do they do? The scoring ratio when somebody's on the court versus when they're off the court. Like it was off the charts when Porzingis was in. Like the Knicks could not score, and the Celtics were scoring like crazy when he was in. And the only reason the Knicks had a chance is because he had a specific like thing he was dealing with. Like he POTS or something like that. Like he was dealing with a specific type of illness. So he couldn't play every day.
Porzingis.
Yeah. So anyway, so I'm going too
Okay.
crazy
So you
into
think
it,
it's a
but
better matchup this year than last year for the Knicks?
I do. I do. I do. I do. I think Jason Tatum thinks that he's ready to play this like, heavy load pause of basketball, but I don't know if he's gonna be able to do it. I think he needed more of in season, games to be able to get his body truly ready. Maybe I'm wrong because he came back from this injury so quick, but I think that's my
I mean, I think when
personal
I looked at
thought though.
when I seen when I've seen like film of Tatum, he looks like he's matured a little bit. Like he's like, okay, I have to
Yeah, yeah.
protect my body a little bit more. I have to play a certain way. And he looked good. But
Yeah,
the regular season ain't the same as the playoffs, right? When you got, okay, you might have had a bomb ass game one, you torched us, but the whole video coordinating team is gonna go break it down. We gonna make
yeah.
adjustments, and now you got to come back in game two, and you got to perform again, and they might be able to,
Yo,
you know, disrupt whatever he got going on.
yeah, the Knicks will disrupt it, and they'll let Jalen Brown live probably, and they'll just disrupt Jason Tatum and the rest of the team. You know what I mean? Like that's what probably is what's gonna happen. I'm not the coach, but we'll see. The other thing is, I would say that the Knicks may not have in their favor. But we'll see how Coach Brown coaches through the playoffs.
I mean, yo, it's all about adjustments. Like the playoffs really just come down to who got the balls to make the adjustments here.
I know people gonna be like, yo, that's a diss? Yo, is say her dissing Mike Brown? Yeah, I might be. I
Nah,
might be
I
a little bit. I
mean,
might be a
you
little
ain't
bit.
dissing Mike Brown, bro, just because you live in reality, man. We seen
I
his
might.
track record. Like, okay, you getting a chance, bro. Let's do it.
Yeah, man.
That's all. Like,
Like his biggest successes is like as a assistant coach. Let's be
right,
real.
right. Every
Let's
time he
be
get that
real.
leap, I mean, even Luke Walton was looking like, you know,
Yeah, yeah. So all right. Enough on Mike Brown. My fault, Mike Brown. Just don't come at me, man. But yeah, I think the bench is crazy though. Like people are sleeping on the Knicks bench, man. It's crazy.
I
You could
mean,
play a lot of their players off the bench. You could play them on different teams, and they'll do their thing.
so you say it's gonna come down to coaching.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. We'll keep an eye on the
That's a good one.
Knickerbockers.
Yo,
I'm rooting for
WrestleMania.
them.
WrestleMania.
Where is it this year?
You were speaking to Halliburton. Your man was there. He found his way to be there.
Huh.
He wasn't participating. He was just watching though.
Oh, okay.
He was just
Okay.
watching. Oddly enough, he was next to Joe Jonas apparently or something like that. That was kind of
Maybe
crazy.
it was in Indiana. I don't know. I gotta see
No,
where
it's in LA, I think. Yeah, I think it's in SoFi Stadium.
the 2-day event.
2-day event. 2-day event. So yeah, so WrestleMania is basically the biggest pro wrestling event that's out there for years, right? And I think, man, it's gonna be like, so I think next year's five. Right now it's the 44th WrestleMania or something like that. So they're getting close to 50, which I thought they were past that, but yeah, they're getting close to 50. You know, when we were coming up, wrestling was honestly like in the late 80s, wrestling was just finding its like, I feel like it's like
Well,
place in the entertainment business. You know what I mean? Like it
yeah,
was slowly
yeah.
creeping up there, you know. And then in the 90s, it caught the straight height fire, and then
Well, it
the rest
was
is history after that.
like when I
Yeah,
look back on, I definitely was like into Hulk Hogan and like $1 Million Man and like the
yeah,
Ultimate Warrior and like so all those like I'm gonna call them characters because that's what they was. They was freaking characters, dog. Like the Roddy Piper and like Big Boss Man. Like everybody was just like a caricature, bro. Back in the
character.
'80s. And I don't know. I mean, I guess I was too young, so maybe I thought it was real. Maybe I thought I don't know, right? Like it was just cool. It was cool, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And they happened to have like a cartoon to go with it. I don't know
yeah.
if you remember that, but they had like a cartoon
They
version
did, they
too.
did, they
And
did.
so
They
I
had the
was just like,
cartoon.
okay. But then, I mean, I guess I got into my basketball and into like my actual stuff. So I wasn't watching it anymore. But then my younger brother, he was getting into it. And that was like the Rock years and like the Undertaker and Gold, just the prime, what you talk about, Steve Austin,
Yeah,
SmackDown, all that stuff like really took
yeah.
off in the mid 90s, early 2000s. It just became incredible. And now, well, I don't know. I don't feel the same like
It's
rate.
not fair. I would say this, Mo. It's not fair to say that because you're not in it,
Well,
right?
that's what I'm saying. Like, but somehow it pulled me in it back then. And what I'm saying is like none of these, even John Cena, like when John Cena came out, a lot of people
He
like
didn't.
John
He
Cena.
didn't draw
He
you
was
in like
like,
that. Pause.
well, no,
That's
because
what you're
when I
saying.
watched him, I was like, nigga, you ain't the Rock, out of here, right? Like you not mankind, like you not this person, you not that person. You trying to, you can't see me, like you trying to be them dudes, though. Or you out here wearing jerseys and chains. What are you?
Looking like Mark
Culturally
Wahlberg.
appropriated? Yeah, exactly. Look like Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. I was like, look at your man, fake ass Marky Mark. That's what I thought at the time,
Oh,
but
you
people
killing
loved
John
him.
Cena right now.
Yo,
You
yo,
killing him.
shouts to Cena though, because he turned it around, right? He
Yeah,
became
shout
like a
out to
movie
Cena. You
star,
better,
dog. Like
yeah,
he did
switch
his
that up.
thing. He
Yeah,
followed the blueprint. He was like, I'm out of here. I'm
he's
good.
switching it for you. You see that? Yo, Mo, can you
I'm
remember?
just talking about the whole
Do you
arc.
have a favorite WrestleMania though? Like, was there a time where you even remember like that you're like, yo, that was the shit. That was the shit.
I
You don't?
mean,
So
I
all
don't know.
right,
I
all
don't know
right.
if they was. I don't know if they was isolated to be WrestleMania. I can remember like great matches. I remember seeing crazy matches, but I don't know if it was part of WrestleMania, SummerSlam. Right? They got a whole
SummerSlam
calendar.
was fire too, and the calendar changed by the way because WrestleMania used to be like in January when it was cold, like, and then Royal Rumble used to be around like
The Royal Rumble.
Thanksgiving stuff. Like it used to be around Thanksgiving, Royal Rumble. I remember that. I could be wrong, but yeah.
My most memorable moments of matches is like the Undertaker. You thinking he's dead, and he like pops out of like the casket, right?
He
Your
said it.
man, your man.
Can I,
What was his name? Mankind. He was Mankind at the moment, but then he like got in his Cactus Jack bag, and he's like jumping off of like a 20-foot ladder, like just doing crazy
I
stuff
see.
like that.
I could tell just by the way you talking it. You got into it like a little after I was like a little after like when I was already drawn in. So
You know who
like
was my favorite wrestler? No bullshit. Bret the Hitman Hart.
Bret
Like
Hitman
when he
Hart was
used to put you
fire,
in
fire,
the
fire,
sharpshooter, the sharpshooter.
fire,
I was like,
fire,
oh, this move is up.
fire,
Back then, I used
fire,
to think it was still real, for
fire.
sure.
He was fire.
Yeah.
Bret the Hitman Hart. Word. You right. My favorite WrestleMania 6. I think it was Hulk
He got the
Hogan.
number.
Hulk Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the Ultimate
Yeah.
Warrior coming through.
Did
I
he?
think it
Did
was
he?
in Toronto.
Did he
It
lift
took
him
him
up?
like 5-7 minutes just to get through the lane. You're like, you know how he used to run
Oh yeah,
to the
yeah. He
shit,
used to
and it
sprint.
was like
Yeah.
it must have
Yeah.
went through his music like 3 times before he got to the ring. That shit was crazy. He was running full speed. I don't know if you remember that, but yeah. And then he bench press. He did this to the Hulk real quick.
I
Like,
remember that. I
yeah,
saw
that
that.
was
Yo,
crazy.
they call that the greatest match. You know that, right?
I
Like
didn't know that, but
that match. They call in WWE history. They call that one like the greatest match ever because at the end of it,
that shit
Hogan
was
was just
crazy.
like, "Bro, you did your thing, man. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
your
that was
belt."
crazy.
Like to
Yeah,
think that
but
all that was scripted
to think that
is
all that was
crazy.
on the back of the slammer, pause. So if y'all remember, the slammer, pause, was on the back of one of the newspapers, and he used to have the predictions of what was gonna happen. Mo don't even remember this.
Oh,
See, that's
yo,
how in the
nah.
trenches I was. Damn.
What? You
Yo,
had a guy giving you picks?
yeah, it let you know, like, yo, so and so is gonna win. And sometimes he'd be like, so and so gonna win this way.
The script. Yeah, I do
And then he
remember
had like a
that.
mask on. He had like a mask on. It was like the slammer. Yeah, my
Wow.
fault.
Imagine if that would have been going on with the internet.
Yeah, I forgot what
Crazy.
newspaper it was in. Newspaper he was in. But yeah, all the way in the back, bro. It was crazy. But yeah, so it feels like though it's doing it. It's I think you said this. I think you hit it on this. It's more of like a I don't know. I guess it's a transition, not a decline. Like it's just shifted its way.
It's
But
not
the
a
thing is,
decline. It's just like any other thing. It's just like any other business right now, right? Like every business is looking for ways to maximize profitability, right? That might mean providing another day of
yeah, but it's
entertainment, another day
also
of action.
yeah, and it's all about um having the popularity, right? So having the popular people be in the show now, right? So like I was telling you, I show speed against Logan Paul, and so
See,
you got the
but here's the
youth,
thing.
and yeah,
If talking to the wrestling purists, bro, Vince McMahon, his story writers and everything, like they didn't need the help from the celebrities. It feels like now it's like
yeah,
you got this whole thing going on in pop culture right now where like President Trump goes to the UFC and like you got appearances by celebrities at WrestleMania. You got rappers who are like wrestling and
yeah. You got all of them,
it's
or
just
they're coming to watch.
but they
You know what I
coming to
mean?
watch and
Yeah,
it's like, yo,
Bad
is
Bunny and
boxing
shit.
fake? Is boxing also fixed? It's starting to look a lot like
No,
all
so
the
this is the thing. What do they call them? Exhibition.
the exhibition, yeah, exhibition fights.
Exhibition fights, right? Those I feel like there's a huge possibility that they're staged.
Yeah, definitely. Because that's
Tyson
strictly
and
they telling you that's entertainment, right? Like,
Tyson and Jake Paul definitely was.
yeah, yeah,
That definitely was.
yeah.
There may be
I
a
mean, so
few
you said
others that were.
Speed was fighting with Jake Paul now at the
Yeah,
wrestling?
no, Logan Paul. Let me
Logan?
not. Yeah, no, I don't want to get it wrong.
Because
Yeah,
I know he wanted to box Jake Paul, and he was
yeah.
just
So I
like,
know he wants to do that too. Yeah, Speed
they just,
Wildin'.
I
We'll
mean, they just
see.
looking to
Yeah,
make money, right? They
yeah.
just
They
looking,
that's
just
it.
can't take any of this shit seriously.
Yep. Floyd about to fight Pacquiao again.
Come on, man.
So yeah.
How
So
long? You
before
know,
we,
as long as we pay, they just gonna keep doing it, right? They'll
I
be like,
wonder
we'll
what the
take your money.
viewership is gonna look like for WrestleMania and all that. But it's probably gonna be up. Probably gonna be up.
Is it on Netflix or it's on Disney Plus on Prime? I feel like I saw it on
I
one
think
of
it was
them.
some of it was on ESPN, and I think the later it was off of ESPN and on. It may be something that you pay. Yeah, I don't remember. Like for the later stuff, right? So sometimes they do that, right? They'll have like the undercard type of stuff on like ESPN, and then when it comes to pay-per-view time or something like that, they have it somewhere else. I don't know. Yeah, you could check it out. But I do want to shout out Brock Lesnar. He had his last match today too. He's been doing it for a minute. Shout out to him.
Yeah,
But yeah,
dog.
WrestleMania, man. We'll see what happens. 50 is coming up 6 years from now. Hopefully we here. You know what I mean?
WrestleMania 50.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. Let's get into it. Underreported.
Yeah.
Here we go. So, economic warfare continues, Mo. It continues, like, right? And part of it is a lot of this shipping, industry stuff, right? So, one thing we was talking about was what the different straits that there are, right? So, these different, I guess, pathways, right, that governments use for, specific type of trading and all of that. First of all, one thing we was trying to figure out was like, what is a strait? Like, because when you look it up, there's like so many of them, right? Like there's so many names. You're like, yo, what is a straight, bro? Like what
I
what are we
mean, to
talking
all my
about?
mariners out there, we ain't trying to sound ignorant, but I was like, what's the difference between like what makes it a strait, right? Like versus
Yeah.
a canal, a channel, a narrow, like all these
Yeah,
nautical terms.
yeah. But it definitely was a certain type of body of water pathway, something like
So the strait is a narrow, naturally formed passage of water that connects two larger bodies of water, typically seas, oceans, or gulfs, and is bounded by land on both sides. So two of the larger bodies of water connects the two larger bodies of water. So for instance, the Strait of Gibraltar connects the Atlantic Ocean to the Mediterranean Sea. So we obviously know we got some tensions going on in the Middle East. That's called
yeah.
the Strait of Hormuz. And it just got me thinking, right? Like, there's got to be a lot of these. Because I've also heard of, I know we have a strait like up in Alaska. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, but like
So yeah,
so
it
that
says the famous ones is the Strait of Hormuz. They got one called the Strait of Magellan. I mean, I know who Magellan is. I never knew that they had a strait named after him, but that one's around South America's southern tip, it says. Taiwan Strait between Thailand and the China mainland. We already know that that's
Mhm.
mainstream media is always like, China's gonna take Taiwan, World War III.
Right.
So we could keep an eye out on that one as things continue to develop. This one says Dover Strait, which says between UK and France, but I thought that was called the English Channel. Maybe not.
Mhm.
And then you got some called the Bering Strait. That's the one that's in Russia and Alaska. That's the one that's like because of quote unquote global warming, like the water levels, the ice levels are going down, and now there's more ships that are able to travel through this route. And that also brings us full circle to why your man is got his eye on Greenland and why he's messing with Canada.
Yeah, so what I have here it says wait, what? Yo, what's up with my notes? It's like my notes just disappeared, bro. That's crazy. I ain't gonna front on you.
Oh, they don't want us talking about it.
Yeah, something
World
going
police
on.
try to shut us down.
So, something going on. I can't lie to you. Cause I had it here. I had it
Like, you
straightforward
can't be
here,
kicking
man.
all this knowledge to the people. What's wrong with y'all?
Yo, yo, oh, this is crazy. Damn, this is making me look reckless right now. All right, so anyway, you have like the Strait of Hormuz, like you said, which is well, the is 20%,
I
right?
mean,
Of what is that? The oil trade, and it's only oil, right? Oil and gas. That's straight up what that is.
oh, that's
But
the
then you
main, yeah, that's the
that
main
is the
product that's
main
moved through the Strait of
yes.
Hormuz.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then you have a Strait of Malacca, which is a bit different.
Oh, the shit in Malacca,
This is
yeah.
this is a very basically it's everything. It's everything from electronics, clothing, food, raw materials. 25% of global trade passes through the Strait of Malacca. So like 80,000, over 80,000 ships a year are shipped through this specific strait. Like, so this is one of the major joints that I don't know if folks are really aware of, so if you interested in this type of stuff, yo, look up the straits, the different straits.
I mean, I
You know what
would
I mean?
say, I mean, thinking about it, yo, American president has been on one, bro. Like he started with the Panama Canal. He was like taking control of that. China beat it, right? Then he did the thing with Venezuela, which basically takes care of like Cuba as well, without having to really deal with Cuba. And right now, with what's happening in the Strait of Hormuz, it's like he's causing problems for China too, man. You know what I'm saying? Like he's causing problems for that whole side of the world if things don't get worked out, And so I don't know. Like I just expect this to continue. I think a lot of us are worried that World War III is like nuclear bombs and like, kind of like what happened during World War II and World War One. But I don't think so, man. I think we in World War III right now, and we should all be lucky that it's just an economic world war, and it's not like the type of kinetic world war that we've had in the past, right? And hopefully it doesn't escalate to anything more than what it's already been.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see. So the Strait of Malacca is going to be big because, America's trying to ask other countries, yo, you guys police this shit. We ready to go. Like, we ready to go back to the Americas, do the whole Gulf of America shit, and like this whole side is ours. Like, that's what he's trying to do. And none of these people want to step in and secure the bag. They want the US to do it. And it's like, I mean,
That's not
wait.
how it's being pushed though. Also, like as far as like around the media and everything like
Of
that, I
course
would
it's
say
not being
that.
pushed like that, but that's if you just listen to him straight up, the nigga's like, yo, take the oil. He said it. They've quoted it. It's just in how you look at it. And it's just like, yo, we not gonna keep being world police. Like he's trying to change that.
So I do have so a strait is a narrow natural water passage that connects two large bodies of water and sits between land masses. Very similar to what you read off earlier. So, it says think of it as a bottleneck for the ocean where a lot of traffic is forced through a tight space. So it's probably, and I think we talked about this offline, it's like beneficial because it's rough. Like, when you're going through the ocean and there's a bunch of, it's just open like ocean.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff you probably got to deal with. Who knows, right? A lot of pushing and,
Well, you just want to
storms
deal
and
with
all of
like
that.
calmer waters
Yeah.
when you're
Yep.
going through, right?
Yep. Yep.
But the Strait of Malacca is important because that's the strait that's like next to Singapore. Y'all just heard all the stats and all the numbers of everything that goes through there.
Yep.
And in 2023, Indonesia signed a deal with the US to make sure that, that strait is secured and I guess doesn't go through what the Strait of Hormuz is going through right now by having, people who run it not be quite on the same page with the rest of the world or whatever. I don't know, there's a lot of news out there, so it could look bad, it could look good. You could be of different opinions. It all depends on like what kind of information you get.
Yeah. These are two major straits, though. It says they both cause a form of a chain reaction system. So oil moves through Hormuz, then travels toward Asia, passes through Malacca to reach major economies.
Here's what I'm
So
saying. Like, remember when the UK wouldn't let us use Diego Garcia, which
yeah,
is in the
yeah.
Indian Ocean, right?
This is yep, yep,
So
yep,
it's important. It's like, okay, UK is supposed to be our ally. They're not banging with us. They saying they don't like the reasons why we doing things. So no, you can't do it. And then Trump is just like, all right, whatever. But that's because we have things like this in place with the Indonesian government where they got joint military exercises, regular drills
Yep.
to demonstrate deepened ties, counterterrorism, and maritime security. They collaborate together. Geopolitics is crazy. Y'all never know. Y'all never thought we was gonna be getting
Yeah.
like into all this, right? But it is, man. It says in 2022, the U.S. and G7 partners committed $20 billion to help Indonesia phase out coal and scale renewables, carbon markets, and green hydrogen. It's a clean energy infrastructure, AI and semiconductors, digital infrastructure. So, everything that's relevant right now. The US has a part. So the thing is like, know that I'm supposed to feel like we don't have any friends or allies, but just because like UK, Australia, Canada, they not like banging with us, doesn't mean that there's not other countries that are quietly supporting us. I really think the way that I saw him set up the peace council or whatever, and like the press made a big deal about like the money that he wanted people to pledge. But that whole thing is like, yo, y'all take care of your region, man. We trying to pull out of here. Pause.
It don't seem like they are though. That's the crazy thing, Mo. So I know you saying that, but it don't seem like that. So there's a lot of antics happening that is causing confusion per
And
usual.
our ally, I won't say their name, our
Per usual.
ally out there in the Middle East, dropping bombs on people 2 seconds after we say we're not going to do that.
We not doing
That's
this.
not helping. So I get it, man. It's confusing. Like I
Yo,
said,
Mo.
it's all about what information you get.
Yo, but if anything, look up your straits so that this way you can understand it a little more, and how the whole system works. And speaking of this economic system, the IMF was meeting recently. Mo, what does the IMF stand for? Like, can you help me understand?
Fuckers that make a lot of traffic in my city. That's what they are.
What does the IMF stand for, bro?
Yo, the IMF stands for the International Monetary Fund.
The International Monetary Fund. They met. You saying they met in DC? That's
I
why
know
you
that, yeah, they
complaining about the
did.
traffic.
Jerks. Had They had some sort of, what do you call it, convention or
Yeah.
workshop, whatever. Just make it traffic, man.
Now, word is during this convention, they basically admitted that there is a struggle with the global economy and it's just getting weaker at the moment, the conditions globally. And a lot has to do with the tensions and the things that are happening, like we just said, right? Whether it's gas and oil or with the supply chain for goods, right? Like
It's too
it's
nerdy.
one of those deals.
It's too
Yeah.
nerdy and it's too complicated for me to
It's
get
too
into it
dirty to
here. But basically, yeah, of course they're admitting. So, like, the euro was created as some sort of European dollar, right? So they have this whole system that if you're in finance, you know what I'm talking about. It's called the euro dollar system. All right. And like, so the euro is a money that they created that's like backed off of like US money. And the EU is euros are used in all the countries that are members.
Okay.
But at the same time, you got the British pound. And I guess they're not part of it anymore, the EU. They did the Brexit thing. But Rome has its own Rome. Italy has its own money. Germany has its own money, but they also like use the euro as well. So I don't any Europeans like help me understand. I don't,
Put put it in the comments. Help Mo. But
Yo,
yeah,
help Mo
the thing
understand
is,
the dual currency system, cause right. So
it's just scary, Mo, because they tend to be quiet, right? They're not gonna admit these type of things. That's why a lot of these things are underreported. It's because they don't want to, I guess, set the alarms off, right? So the fact that there is some type of groups actually admitting to this, then I think we should all kind of like really take the hint.
well, yeah, because what's
And
happening is, are you familiar with the debt clock counter for the U.S.?
go ahead, man. The debt clock counter you said? Oh, so
Yeah.
the one that tells us is we're trillions of dollars in debt and
Yes.
all that shit. Yeah.
So it's called usdebtclock.org for anybody who wants to go check it out. All right. And it's a live tracker of just how much debt this country actually has. Don't go to the .com. I just went to it by mistake. That's fraudulent one. You gotta go to the .org one.
So if you go to the .org, you can see how more depressing it is.
No, because they've changed it.
Word?
Now, the part where you see like the US debt and
Yeah.
like federal dollars per taxpayer and all this other crazy shit they used to put. That's still there as the top line, but then under it, you got all these new categories. And one of them is called like USA Hidden Wealth. That wasn't there before. So what do they consider hidden wealth? What they consider hidden wealth is precious
What's that?
metals like gold, silver, that kind of
It's
stuff.
shit we talk about.
Mineral reserves, so lithium, gas, oil, real estate, farmland, all that good stuff. Or actually, they got real estate and land separated. So I guess one is like actual buildings and things like that. The other one is farmland and all that good stuff. Stock market value. And then these are the good ones. Recaptured assets. Right now it's at 9 trillion. What that means, I don't know. Maybe they clawing back some money from,
Recaptured assets. Okay. We gotta look
right?
into that next time.
So it says that the total hidden wealth of our country is $212 trillion.
Hidden wealth, you said.
Well, yeah, because right now we operate off of a debt-based system. So we don't count how much gold we have, how much oil we
Right,
have, or
right,
anything
right,
like
right.
that. We just count like
It's
the
just
empty.
like if you work in the books and you trying to get away from all the other crazy shit, so you
Well,
put in through. Yo, that's crazy.
it's like when you pay off a loan and your credit score goes down because now you don't have that debt anymore.
Right, right, right. You
So
right.
this is
You
what's
right.
happening here as a country. If we pay off all our debt, our $36 trillion debt, we won't have any credit. We won't have any money. The money is the debt, like the paper contract that says you owe me money. So if nobody owes us money, then we have no money. This line implies that now the dollar is going to be backed by an actual asset, by real collateral.
Okay, 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 okay. Got it.
So it says that
Wow.
every citizen is entitled to $620,000. That's the wealth per citizen.
Okay. Let me
This
see.
is
So let
all
me
new.
see
I
that.
just saw this like a couple of
Let me
weeks
see
ago. I was
that.
like, oh, they
Let me see
updated it.
that. Let me see that. But yo, as we talk about, the IMF, we talk about the different straits and, the what do we say? Struggling economy. Trucking is decreasing demand. The demand for trucking is also decreasing somewhat these days after having more of a recovery, a resurgence, right? Now they're seeing a potential decrease again with this, right? With all the stuff happening. It's just another area of how all of this is getting affected. We mentioned a chain reaction. This is a chain reaction, but just on land versus, at sea.
Well, yeah. I mean, bro, I mean, it's a chain, right? Like
Yeah.
legitimate, it's a chain. So like if there's a slowdown in all the containers coming into the ports, then there's a slowdown for things getting on the trucks, then there's a slowdown for the trucks to get on the road, and it slows everything down. So, yeah, the trucking industry, man, if this trucking industry really starts to dip, then that's gonna be like our real indicator that things are actually becoming scarce. Like maybe we have less. I don't know.
Yeah, because that
We're
means
importing less weed or less soy or whatever, right? Like,
whatever it is, I know what you mean. All right, right. So they don't have enough to pick up. They don't
yeah,
have a lot of stuff to pick up, pretty much.
yeah, yeah,
But let's
and
keep your eye on that. Yep.
it's just like everything is happening at the same time. So it's like, let's just say we did have like. Let's say we had 10% of our truckers in our country were like, have no papers, they here illegal, they working, you know what I mean? I don't know what the total number is, but 10% of a dip of like
Hmm.
drivers to drive around material of supplies and all that good stuff. That's a big number, man. Like, so we're working through like fixing the illegal situation with potential drivers and things like that. And at the same time, we have higher prices for like diesel and this and that. So there's a lot of pressure to slow things down on a global level. So I'd say expect it. Prepare for it. Don't be surprised by it.
Yeah. Speaking of, I finally have a specific number: 60,000 job cuts announced in March altogether. So yeah, we're close to that 300,000 range for 3 months
Yo, so
of the
Oracle's
year.
responsible for 50% of all the jobs lost in that month? That's crazy,
That's
dog.
It's extra crazy. But yeah, but I wonder if truck drive, you know what I mean? Like drivers are included in that. It's probably not. So you figure, you probably are closer to 300,000 total for the year so far. Like that's
But you
just a
got to
crazy
remember,
number.
most truck drivers aren't employees. They're
Very
individual
true.
operators.
They're
So
kind
like
of
they don't
on
even
their own.
they don't even
You're
factor in that
right.
report, you
You're
know?
right, but
So
it's still something to think, consider as a number. So, but yeah, man, another thing to, we talked a little bit about the resources that are being drained, right? Because of these AI and data center and chip manufacturing facilities that are starting to open. Something that has come to the table again is power specifically. So energy, right, for these type of facilities, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a concern. And are they actually diving into this and seeing what can be done? So, Mo, I'll give you an example. Well, first, we talked about water, right? Colorado River, once again, we talked about that, and that being, multiple states that are basically competing with each other, trying to get the water that's needed. But guess what? There's not enough to go around apparently, right? And now you have this power issue that's gonna come about. We said Texas was the number one, right? Like it's becoming this main thing. Texas is on its own power grid. Do you think that makes them even more vulnerable to having some type of power shutdown or,
so the
yeah.
the only reason I would say yes is just because I haven't heard any reports of how fabulous they maintain their grid and how up to date it is and state of the art and how it's just like ready to compete with China and this other. I haven't heard any of that. So I'm gonna say yes. It's a huge target to and it just comes down to I'm not an expert in the field. I don't know anything about it. I haven't researched, but it's just like, bro, I haven't heard anything about a modernized power grid. And all I've ever learned over the years when I jump into energy is like how we lose energy transporting it from one side to another, how we have a bunch of overproduction of energy to have it there just in case things happen. And I just hear about how we're just so inefficient
Yeah.
with our energy, right? Like, and
It's like,
so
yeah, go ahead,
we're
go ahead.
inefficient to begin with, and now we're gonna introduce like this behemoth that's just gonna like siphon off so much generation of what we need. Yeah, man, we definitely we are all focused on the war, right? And all this shit is happening in the background, and we don't even know it.
Thing is, it's like we're always focused on not the complete picture, right? So, and it's like, when does that idea of functioning stop? Like, how can you, like, our cities, right, are pretty old and they're not in the world, they're not the, what do you call it? The most, I guess futuristic. They're not the most futuristic at all. We have it's almost like the US is, and it's not even a slum, so I'm not gonna say like we got a bunch of slumlords or something like that, but at the same time, there's no type of like, I don't know, like there's no proactive work that's ever done, it looks like everything is like it has to be done new. They don't like go and take old land, old properties and try to restore in the proper way. They just kind of like, it's like pulling layers of paint on the wall basically, right? And not scraping all the layers from the past and then putting in new, right? You have the landmarks in New York City, right? It
You mean
feels
like the
like
fact that we can't go up to the crown anymore, the torch of the Empire of the Statue of Liberty, because they don't maintain it, right? Like,
stuff like that. But then also, like, if you have an old building and you know it needs to be modernized, just tear down the whole building and then start up new, right? With new technologies and things. But of course, it's already vulnerable because underneath it hasn't been updated. So you got sinkholes coming, you got all this other type of stuff happening, right? Yeah, I think it's a setup for disaster that no one has looked at. And I don't know how do you not have risk conversations with something as big as these things? How do you not have risk conversations? That is just crazy.
I mean, as a country, I just feel like they've had us focus on like not to marginalize wind and solar, but I'm talking about like nuclear and like cold fusion and like using physics and like we not even it's frustrating, bro. Like
Yeah,
I'm not qualified to get into all of it,
that too. Yeah, yeah,
but it's like, yo, I know for a fact we got better technology than this, bro. You know the dude Julian Brown, the one that made like that he could put the
yeah,
plastic into.
yeah.
He
Nobody's
was
trying
on Earn
to.
Your Leisure,
Yep, nobody's trying to like everybody faking the funk on him. And he came out and said it. He's like, "Yo, no, what's going on?"
and so the guys was like, yo, you know you got your patent on your stuff, and he's just like, nah, absolutely not. You crazy? I'm about to give
Yeah.
them all the stats, hand it over to them. Nah, bro. No, sir. And they talked about like the nuances of having trade secrets versus like a patent. And it's just like, bro, they suppressing so much from us, man. Like we deserve so much better.
But they
And
want our information. So that gets me to the next thing. So good luck with all this. Y'all need to start talking about risk behind these different things. But yo,
it's a lot of
let me.
yo, listen, just watch Blade Runner. All right. Make sure you got friends that are like hackers and shit, gamers. They're gonna be important in the future.
So speaking of technology, I tell you one thing they have a good way of doing is the trickery. The trickery. They masterful at the trickery. Okay. So I was talking to you about this offline. The privacy stuff. Right? They continue to talk about this. They continue to act like there's all these policies and all these things that are being stopped or activated, all this type of stuff, right? But when you think about it, Mo, and I wanted to share this with you, like, yo, I can't get on any type of websites, applications, you name it, without having to commit to like, you only giving us half access, limited access to your photos. You only giving us this amount of access. Can we have access to your location? But otherwise, if not, like, you can't get down with us type shit. So are they bullying us into like,
Look, I could sit
like,
there.
like,
I could sit there. Look,
and
I could sit there and choose to think that when I hit that don't track my app thing, that little button, like I could sit here and act like that shit works.
yeah.
But the reality, look, that's it. Give it. I've. That's it. I'm tracked,
Yo,
bro. Like they have
thank you.
everything.
And
I'm
you just
tracked.
said it. You just said it. The reality is you're nay to multiple things. If you say no to multiple things, it doesn't matter because you just said yes.
It
You
just
just said yes to 5 other things, but on top of it, you already made the prime purchase. You already made the prime purchase to the joint.
that's the gateway.
That's the case.
That's the door right
You
there. Like,
already
you've
so
opened the door. Now it doesn't matter. Like you can't
so
close it behind
yeah,
you.
yeah, and
And
then
you can be like, nah, because Verizon protects its consumers. Sure. Nah, AT&T didn't just get hacked in that. You remember that? The AT&T hack?
yeah.
What
There was
was it?
so
The
many hacks.
what is
Yeah,
it,
man, I
crowd?
keep getting emails from different companies like, "Oh, we got." I'm like, "Damn, this shit crazy," and they act like everything is safe, but it's not. Your shit ain't safe. Your shit been ain't safe. The minute smartphones came about, your shit wasn't safe, bro. And so that's the crazy thing. I'm like, is it something to even stress about, Mo? At this point, it's almost like, the band-aid been pulled off, been put back on. Does it even matter at this point? I mean, you can limit as much as possible, but like,
No, I mean, I think the most difficult part of this all is like they've been very clever over the years, right? Like, what if we still had to pay for minutes? They wouldn't have enough participants to really just do what they're doing right now. Because a lot of people would be like, nah, I thought I call you after 7, nigga, on Fridays. That's what I do. We ain't
they
talking
they
like I only got 200 minutes, nigga, like during the day.
they still charge you for Wi-Fi. People don't realize that when you're not on a local Wi-Fi, you are getting tagged.
Yeah, your data package.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I don't think a lot of people realize like when you're not on there, when you're not on like I said, a local secure,
a Wi-Fi network.
yeah, when you just using the open Wi-Fi,
Your data.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're just using your open data, that you
I
getting
mean,
tagged
so
for that.
but how about when they be but I pay for unlimited.
Well, this is classified under, yeah. It's gonna happen, bro. They're gonna be like, yeah, you have unlimited for this specific
Yo,
type.
have you heard of something called dynamic pricing?
Dynamic pricing. Let's do it. What the fuck is
So
that?
in Walmart's, these niggas, you remember how they used to have the price and like
Oh,
the
yo,
little
yo.
smiley face with the rollback?
I think I know what you about to say.
They taking that shit off. Now
They doing it
every
digital,
price tag is gonna be digital, nigga.
and then
And
it'll
if you walk
change.
by that shit and it's like, yo, this nigga love buying Nestle
No
Quick.
way. No way. It's gonna change
For
to a
you,
higher
it's gonna change for a higher price. Shit is crazy, right?
for you. Nah,
Be like, yo, nigga, I know you don't
yo,
like
yo,
almond
that's
milk, so
crazy.
if you wanted to try some almond milk, it's on sale today
Two
for 99
dollars, two
cents for
dollars.
you, right?
Yo,
Like,
that's crazy.
but as soon as you like, yo, you know what? I like this
You're gonna be
almond milk
paying
shit.
ten
Like
dollars.
this joint, yup. They be like, yo, I like this almond milk. Like, you know, it's just doing good for my body. And they realizes like, yo, now you hooked on the almond milk. That's yo, it used to be 99 cent, nigga, but now that there's some demand, 4.99.
Yo, they need to get like a real deal water, like something you could do the watering. Don't they have this already? Like where you could do the water in your house type
Yo, just
shit.
get a
Like
distiller, man. You just get a
this
distiller at your
is
crib,
so
and
insane.
you know you
You
do
might as
your
well
own
have
water.
to, yeah, maybe do the Kevin Costa trick.
I saw. I've been bookmarking like I've been seeing a lot of like survivalist things coming through my feed again, which
Yo,
is
this
kind of
dude,
like
yeah.
making my spidey sense go off because I'm like, wow, all of a sudden I'm getting like how to make the little bouillon so you can make like soup, and then I saw this other
So,
joint where it like gives you natural heat,
yeah.
and so there's like all this stuff coming up, but I'm gonna see if I can some
But
survival
yeah,
tips.
I just think it's kind of crazy though with the privacy. Like,
Privacy's wild. Like they're gonna
with the
look, man, I'm
tricksters,
gonna tell you this 100%, bro. They're gonna create
tricksters.
some sort of issue. A lot of people gonna get frightened, scared, whatever, and then they gonna come with the solution. I mean, this is what they always do, man. Like,
Yo,
and so
yo,
the solution,
that pricing is crazy.
savage, right?
What'd you say this called?
It's called dynamic pricing.
Dynamic pricing.
So
That's
meaning, like,
crazy.
let's say you work downtown, right? You like, you know what? I ain't have Wendy's in a while. You know what? They the best
Pricing
one out
is
of the worst ones or whatever, right? So you like,
yo,
I'm gonna
this
go to
is
Wendy's
crazy.
and like let's say you get there at like it's a late lunch, so you get there like at 2:50 in the afternoon.
Yeah, it's gonna be $10.
Hold up, and you up there and you decide and you looking at the prices, you kind of like bugging. You like, damn, yo, like $16 for a number one or whatever, right? Like
Yo,
Dave's classic, like
knowing that's your shit. That's why.
yeah, right. You like, yo, hold on, nigga. Like, this is supposed to be
Yo,
like
chill,
$12. Right now
chill.
they
That's
charge you
crazy.
16. And let's just say in the meantime, you get a call or something, get like distracted for like a couple of minutes.
That's so
But and you so
reckless.
you finish your call, right? You finish your call. You're like, all right, I'm gonna make fuck it. I'm gonna just order this lunch real quick. But now it's
Yo,
after three
Mo,
o'clock.
that's
And now when you look
savage,
again,
bro.
you're like, wait a minute, the fuck? It's only $12 now?
Yo,
You're like,
Mo, that's
oh shit,
savage,
that's what's
Mo.
up,
Yo,
nigga. They got peak
Mo.
hours for lunch, nigga, from 10 to
They do
3.
have that. They
From
have
10
that
to 3,
now.
dynamic pricing, nigga.
No, they have that. Oh, so that's what they call that. Yeah, yeah. But now
It's
you're
the same.
saying, but
No,
now you're saying it's
as we
more
get
individualized, though. You're saying it's more individualized.
as we get further into it now,
Yo, that's
they'll
crazy.
be able to cater it to you so that you could get
That's
all the
crazy.
best. They could get all the most extraction of wealth out of you. But they'll say it's so that we could give you better, more convenient service. Listen, don't
Yo,
get mad at capitalism, all right? They just get creative around capitalism, yo. Capitalism allows you to be a damn near shark legally.
well, going back again. I hate keep going back to it. The privacy thing. That is what happens. They able to be sharks in the market
Yeah,
by having your information. That's the whole point of getting your information is so that they can be sharks in
yep,
other places.
yep.
And
That's
don't get it
exactly why.
twisted. The product that you bought is a part of their partners.
You know how you go to your grocery store and they be like, yo, put in your phone number so you could get a discount. Nigga, they've built a whole profile on you, nigga.
Yeah.
Like,
That's it.
they know what your go-to is. They know that
That's
you
it.
prefer Kool-Aid,
That's it.
the red Kool-Aid versus
You done
the
did
grape
that.
Kool-Aid.
Yeah, that's another example. If you done did that, you done. You
I
set.
mean, once
That's
they
it.
decide to get grimy, you done, right?
You
Like
done.
they haven't gotten grimy. Where I live, I gotta pay for fucking grocery bags, right? Like
That's what they do. 5 cent, 10 cents, some shit
Yeah,
like
right.
that.
So when I go to the store, niggas charge me 5 cents because I'm grabbing a bag, right?
Yeah, LA was doing that 2011.
I'm telling you, listen, there's ways to extract money out of people, especially in America. In America's easy. I mean, you turn anything into a service, you'll get rich.
You're right.
Like
That's
right
why this
now, if people
subscriptions is
having
heavy.
trouble, like if think about like if people don't go to the gas station to put gas, and I seen this is like a real business is happening. A
Yeah.
lady bought like a small.
I showed that to you.
Okay,
Yeah.
you showed that to me. Yo, listen, that shit is genius, man. In America, that shit will be successful.
She
In
got the
in
mobile
like
gas, the mobile
DR, that shit
gas.
is not gonna be successful. You're gonna lose money with that shit in DR.
She
Everybody
got the
gonna
mobile.
everybody gonna not be lazy, get their ass in their car, they gonna go put their own gas. But here in America, you like, I don't know if it's worth it.
Yeah, you're right. That's crazy.
So it's crazy. My fault. I know we like all over the place. I'm gonna just leave it there, man. Yo, listen, the privacy is crazy. Be careful with the cars you buy, nigga. Like they putting these computer programs in there.
Shit, yeah.
Yo, it's all connected.
Right.
Motherfuckers all working together, yo. I'm telling you.
This is what I'm saying. They all in cahoots.